What role did a gorgeous 25-year-old soccer player play in my health journey? Welcome to Be Fab, Be You Made Simple, your daily dose of inspiration designed to help you reinvent yourself by optimizing your body and mind. I am Maria Horstman, a health editor and coach, a fitness trainer, a speaker, and an entrepreneur, founder of BeFabBeYou.com. Our episodes are short and will bring you valuable content and practical nuggets for optimal health and fitness that you can implement ASAP. Let's get you to feel fabulous every day. Are you ready? Check out the show notes too. 1, schedule a free call with me to discuss a plan to take your health to the next level. 2, submit a question to be featured in our Ask Me Anything episodes on Sundays. Connect with me on social media and much more. Hit the subscribe button, and if you like what you hear, share with your friends and leave it a rating. What role did a gorgeous 25-year-old soccer player play in my health journey? Welcome back to the Be Fab, Be You Made Simple podcast. So last episode, I introduced you to the Nutrition Endocrinology Method Pyramid. And if you haven't listened to episode 27 with that, catch it at befabbu.com/podcast. or on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. In today's episode, I would like to piggyback on that episode and start another mini-series to share more about nutrition endocrinology and why I decided to incorporate it to my practice as a health coach and personal trainer. Today's episode is a kind of a bonus, though. I will share the beginning life stories that ultimately led me to transform my personal and professional life 180 degrees. You might find some juicy stuff in this today. Holy moly. And although I'm not going to chat much about it today, I wanted to give you a heads up that part of my transformation journey includes meeting my mentor and coach, Dr. Ritamarie Localzo. She's the founder of the Institute of Nutritional Endocrinology, and my trainings in insulin resistance and nutrition endocrinology come from her teachings, methodologies, and years of experience with very complex customers. She focused most of her time teaching other healthcare professionals these days, including medical doctors. But she is also the one who created the Nutrition Endocrinology Method Pyramid that I shared with you in the past. When it comes down to it, she is someone I want to be like when I grow up and is the last person I want to disappoint. So here you go. Have some fun with today's episode. In 2001, a series of events kicked off my health and lifestyle transformation journey. They happened pretty close to each other, and today I will share 2 of these events, or may I say stories. So first was my mom asked me if I had thought about my life in my 60s, 70s, 80s without children to take care of me. Look at it. At that time, I was single. I wasn't seeking prospects either. Funny thing is, 10 years have gone by and little has changed in that department. So I also saw a TV commercial that had an older lady. She was alone in her house. She fell on the kitchen floor and couldn't get up. We all seen that commercial, right? I had seen that commercial multiple times before, but it hadn't hit me that hard until that time, that day. It made me really reflect, those 2 things together, plus a few other things. How many people call me? How many people knock on my door for a personal visit? Back then, email and text were already kind of the normal. And besides the delivery man, UPS, FedEx, whatever, nobody was knocking on my door to chat or have some tea or coffee together. The next thought that came with fear and sadness. How about if I fall and hit my freaking head, or I break a hip or injure my back badly enough that I can barely move? And of course, my phone is unreachable. How long will it take for someone to find me? Will I die on the freaking floor alone and in pain? Oh, Lord. Then I started to think about my mom's health, my grandmother's health, my family health history. I freaked out because the idea of following their footsteps was not pretty. Then I started to reflect about my own health habits. I freaked out even more. So, no freaking way I wanted this for myself. Something had to change. So, what happens next is kind of interesting, and you might get a kick out of it. So, a friend of mine had suggested me over and over to have a FB, and that stands for FUCK buddy. Yeah, you heard me right. I know. Isn't it funny? I think it's funny. This friend always told me stories, how awesome her experience were. And she had this casual, safe, pleasurable, and unattached relationships. Man, I envied her ability to do that. I always told her I was not good at this one night stands or these relationships with no personal attachments. I had tried them before. I always felt awful every time. And to be honest, sex without emotional attachment is not for me, wasn't for me. So when this aging, falling on the kitchen floor, dying alone thoughts flared up, well, it's been at least, it had been at that time, about 3 years since I hadn't tried this one night stand. I was older, I thought. Maybe I could do it. It would be nice to have a back and call person to do the boom boom, like I call it. Cook together once in a while, watch movies, whatever. But on my own terms and on my own time. Isn't that nice? I love the idea until today. Haven't got that yet. I decided to try it again then. And maybe I could do this FB after all, There was this 25-year-old gorgeous Uruguayan soccer player. I had met him in a local dance club. He was a bartender there. And the moment we start talking, he started hitting on me. And he kept hitting on me for weeks and weeks. He always suggested coming over to my house to talk and watch a movie. Yeah, right. Watch a movie. I'm no fool. I knew exactly what this young man wanted. He said, I like older women too. Oh boy. So with all these thoughts and things coming over to my head, so I decided to put my guard down, be open-minded, and invite him over. We all know what happens next. It was part of my master plan. Here's what I got to tell you. It was freaking awful. It was a disaster. I felt worse than I had ever felt before doing this one night stands. I felt used, not by him. He did no wrong. I had used myself and I felt like trash. And I said, this is not good. So what happens next? I knew that I was not a woman who was going to seek or go after men. Had never been that person. Whether the purpose was for companionship or for children, I was not going to do that. That was not part of me. Sure, I had envisioned marriage and children by the age of 30. At that time, I was 36, and the closest I had been to that was I had started moving in with this guy that I was in love with, and I thought he was going to be my husband. I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with him despite all our differences. Well, that didn't happen. I got dumped instead. And this happened when I was 30 years old, so it had passed 6 years. When this happened, I got depressed for months. I hit what I call the black hole. And the last thing I wanted was to be in a similar situation later in life, right? I learned my lessons. I learned about myself. I grew. I changed. And I am a 99.99% certain that I would not be the coach and the person I am today without going through this painful breakup. There is always something positive out of the events in life. As far as children goes, I thought to myself, well, I always wanted to share my life experiences and travels and stories and activities that I had done until that point in my life. I think it would be amazing. I think I would be a great mom. It would be nice to share with a child. I would use these experiences to inspire and empower that child. It is one of those things you want to do and give what you didn't do or receive as a child. I'm sure that you can resonate with that. Well, since I was not going to raise a child by myself without a family support, and I was not ready to go back to Brazil to be close to family, it became clear to me that to be with someone, the right person, which I had defined by then, would have to kind of show up on my door. And if he didn't, I would be okay with it because I was being confident. I was building a life which I was happy and content being on my own. Anything more would be a plus. I also gave myself permission to consider adoption whenever was the right time for me and a child. So that was it. I got comfortable with my decisions then, and I'm still comfortable with them now. So what did happen next? I took a dive deep, let's say I took a deep dive, right? into my family, health history, my habits, my fears, my wants and don't wants. And these conversations with self got me curious about health, diseases, disease prevention, and I start researching, learning, applying, and changing. I hope you enjoyed these stories. It was fun to go down the memory lane. I also hope that the message served as an inspiration to you. Life is filled with curveballs. I believe that everything happens for a reason, good or bad. When we focus on what we can do, we take action, we learn the process, and we get out of our own ways, amazing things can happen. We deserve this perspective. We deserve to give us permission to go there. It is a marathon, not a sprint. There is no quick fix to health and wellness. This is one thing I've learned too. In order to feel healthy and more confident about the future, we get to put the reps in and build the healthy habits. The earlier we start, the better it is. So next episode, I will share more about my battle with sugar addiction, my renewed purpose in life, and how my trainings as an insulin resistance and nutrition endocrinology changed my life forever. And that's what I apply to change the life of others. I'm very passionate about this content and part of my life because I'm able to use this knowledge and concepts to coach and change the life of others, including yours. So thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to the Be Fab, Be You Made Simple podcast. Can you do me a favor? If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend and leave it a rating. It helps the podcast, and I really appreciate it. If you're wondering where to start, head over to my website, linked in the show notes, to sign up to receive encouragement, tips, and strategies to maximize results. While you're there, download a free health guide to get you started today. If you're looking for a coach and trainer to help you optimize your weight, body, and health, get on my calendar. Let's discuss your goals, establish a custom plan, implement it, and celebrate your results. Together, we can do this. Find the link to schedule a free energy audit strategy session also in the show notes. Connect with me on social media. I would love for you to let me know that you're listening to the show. Also, see the show notes for the links. In addition to a qualified healthcare practitioner, it's important that you have someone in your corner who is in for you and will help you to plan and stay on track implementing your goals. Are you ready? Let's rock and roll this boat. I will see you on the next episode of Be Fab, Be You Made Simple. Just a reminder that this podcast is for educational purposes only. This podcast is not a substitute for health care by a doctor or other qualified medical professionals. This podcast is provided on the understanding that it does not constitute medical or other professional advice or services.